welcome to another edition of Bitcoin Wednesday. I am your host, Brian, and we will have Vance joining us shortly. So, how's everybody doing out there today? We are just getting some things ready, and we will start the show here in just a minute. Just need to share it. If you're on, go ahead and share this with others so we can get more in our group. All right. So I'm a little late getting started today. The power has been out for the last half hour. Somebody hit a pole or something down the street. So they've been working on it. So I'm a little late getting started. I apologize for that, but let's hop into it and see what's going on in the market. Take a little bit from my computer to get up and going since the power outage, so I apologize. It's been an interesting market all week. It's been down a little bit. Curious to see what it's at right now compared to last week. Let's see. So, where are we at? Oh, come on. Let's refresh here so we can see what's going on. Internet might be a little slow too because everybody's had it off for the last half hour. Now they're freaking out and have to jump on it so they can watch their shows or whatever else. Nothing nearly as exciting as a Bitcoin Wednesday, right? Okay, so last week we were at $279 billion market cap, almost $280 billion. Right now, we are currently at $292 billion. So, a little bit of a gain. That's good. All right, let me put my headphones on because I think Vance is ready to join us. We'll bring him on board. You ready, Vance? All right. Let's see. Okay, here's Vance. Welcome to the program, Vance.
Yeah.
How we doing tonight?
Doing all right.
Good.
How far did we get so far?
I am just barely getting into numbers. And last week we were at a market cap of $279 billion, almost 280.
Okay.
And right now we're at $292 billion. So
up a little bit. That's good.
Up $12 billion since last week. I know it had to have gone down below that in the week's time, right? Didn't it go a little lower than 279?
I never saw it below 79. In fact, I never even saw it at 79. I think I saw it around 80 was the lowest I saw it. So
Okay. Bitcoin's up a little bit. It was at 65.21. It's up to 68.09 today. And the Bitcoin dominance is actually up a little bit too. It's up 0.1%.
Well, that means people are putting money back in.
39.9. That's right. So
yeah,
that's a good thing. So my power has been off for the last half hour. So I got my printer and stuff just starting on, and everything's kind of going a little crazy here. And took me a little bit of time to get started, but we made it. So, anyways. What's going on in the news? Anything happening?
Oh, I haven't really kept up. I mean, I posted a few things up, but boy, I haven't kept up last couple of days. I do know that there's a few states that are still passing legislature. So it's basically legal to invest with cryptocurrency. I think, who was it today that passed that or that submitted the bill? Let me pull it up here. It was North Carolina, I think.
Okay.
Actually submit, or they're just waiting for it to be signed off, but it's passed. It's voted and passed. That basically you can use your crypto is basically legal to invest in that state. So that's always a good one. I know with Korea, if anybody's kept up with Korea lately, they had an exchange that actually got hacked not too long ago, but and it's caused a lot of concern with their government. They're actually back in talks now for more regulation. I know they've already come out with regulation. They copied a lot of what the U.S. is doing for South Korea, but they're back in looking at it a little stronger now because of their that one exchange. And I forget, guys. I'm sorry. So I'm just trying to pull it up here.
So Vince has a question for Vance.
Okay.
Vince for Vance. What is happening to all the coins? Seems like all is going down.
Well, except for today, they're all up because money's going back in. Money's
but he's
being
right.
taken.
He's right. They've been down, but they are all up a little bit today. So.
Yeah, and really, what it is, I think there's, and we've talked about this in the last few shows too, that it's just uncertainty in the market is really what it's coming down to. I mean, there's investigations by the SEC going into Bitcoin manipulation. There's a lot of different stuff where people are concerned because they don't even know how the government's going to react to coins, whether they're how they're going to rank them.
Right.
I don't even know how else to say that. I mean, so basically, if a coin was listed as part of an ICO, the SEC may consider that now a security, so it falls under securities laws. Where, on the other hand, they're saying certain coins that have been around forever, like Bitcoin and Ethereum, are not securities. So, that's been up in the air too.
They just came out with the Ethereum ruling just this week, right? Just a couple days ago or something.
I think it was Sunday or Monday. I think I saw that in the news. I thought it was over the weekend. I thought I saw that, but yeah, Ethereum is no longer considered as securities, so it doesn't fall under security regulation.
Which helped it to bounce up. It was sitting at just under $500, and it's up to $543. So it was good.
So, but there's a lot of just uncertainty, FUD going on out there. There's just a lot of doubt in the market, and so there's not a lot of money coming in, which keeps that price down really low right now. Of course, I don't think. I mean, we've seen that Bitcoin's hit the a few different markets and everything, so they can take out futures against it. I don't think that's helping at all either, because everybody was thinking. Everybody that was investing in those futures was not a Bitcoin holder per se. So they were saying it was going to crash. It was going to tank. So, of course, they're throwing all that out there. That doesn't help Bitcoin. When basically the first futures market we get is going to say that it's going to crash and burn. So that throws a lot of uncertainty and doubt out there for new investors as well as people looking to invest. Okay. And here's another thing that just was announced. Was it yesterday or the day before? Is that Ethereum is now on the futures market, is now going to be listed in the futures market. So let's see what happens with that. That could help it, or it could be the same guys saying Ethereum is going to crash and burn. It's the end of the world. Basically, the sky is falling. The sky is falling. What's going to happen? I don't know. So I'm not a fan of the futures market in crypto, especially just at this stage, because the exchanges haven't. There's a lot of stock exchanges that said they're going to be opening exchanges for cryptocurrencies. Okay, there's 4 in the U.S. that said that they're going to be doing that. Okay, so Chicago, Boston, New York, and I don't remember one other one. But anyway, there's 4 exchanges that are going to be opening to do that. Well, they're already doing futures without it even being on the market yet. So it's not getting the yin for the yang, I don't think, right now, the way I kind of see that. So that's why that's one side of this. I mean, there could be manipulation going in the market. I mean, that's why the SEC launched an investigation against it. They did come out and say that there was manipulation. We talked about this last week too, that there were whales out there or investment institutions that were privately holding crypto and basically using Tether to manipulate it back and forth. So that actually came out in the news last week. So, I mean, I'm
curious what the future of Tether will be.
Yeah, exactly. There are a few other coins coming out now that are basically the same as Tether, but they're in support of the SEC, or at least within guidance of the SEC. So I know there are some other coins coming out that they're trying to baseline those against, the US dollar, basically the US fiat. Whether that's when that comes out, I don't know. I don't know on that one yet.
Well, if we had a
that's
USD
been in the news.
USD pairings on all our coins, then we wouldn't have to worry about that as much either.
You're right, and that's something I mentioned this week. I watched a video earlier, and I mentioned this in the chat forum from the Modern Investor, talking about how do we get coins away from Bitcoin? How do we get the manipulation of Bitcoin to not manipulate every other coin? Okay, so if Bitcoin is going down, why does all the other coins have to go down too? And it really comes down to the coin pairings, like Brian just said. There's oh geez, okay, our product placement for the day. So
Dickie's barbecue pit, get some.
Yeah, and by the way, they're not paying us, so
not yet.
But talking about the pairings, it's basically most coins out there, most altcoins are going to be paired with either Bitcoin or Ethereum and nothing else on exchanges.
Right.
There's not going to be another pairing. So meaning that to get your coin that you have to buy or that you want to buy, let's just pull a top 10 here. IOTA, Tron, Cardano, Stellar, any of those. Okay. Those are 7, 8, 9, and 10 on the top 10. Okay. If you want to buy one of those, well, then you have to buy either one or two, Bitcoin or Ethereum, to send to that exchange and then buy the altcoin that you want through Bitcoin or Ethereum. Okay.
Right.
This is why markets like Coinbase monopolize everything, because why? How many alternatives do you have to buying Bitcoin or Ethereum with fiat? Okay. There's not a lot out there. We've mentioned a few lately that are apps like Cash Circle and I can't remember the other one. The third one that just came out that has a lot. But Abra
or something.
Abra, yeah. So Circle Coin and Abra. Okay. And that's another thing we'll talk about here in a minute. But basically, you had to go through Coinbase. If you're here in the United States, you had to go through Coinbase to actually buy crypto with your fiat. That was almost your only alternative. Okay. I mean, other exchanges don't have a fiat option on them. Okay. So basically, you were stuck between these pairings, whether it was Bitcoin or Ethereum, or sometimes Litecoin. I mean, we do see Litecoin, but not too often, to go buy the coin that you want, the altcoin that you want, or to invest into an ICO that you wanted. I mean, that's what they're going to take, right? Okay. So when these coins are released on the exchanges, well, they're still only stuck with that pairing or with the exchange coin. Okay. So like Robinhood has the Cobb coin, which is their own coin that they launched in their ICO. Binance has whatever the Binance coin is. Okay. BIN, I think it's BIN. So basically you had to use one of their coins or one of the top coins, Bitcoin or Ethereum, to buy your crypto. Okay. So the way for us to break this cycle that we're going in for Bitcoin and Ethereum, whatever happens to those happens to your coin, your altcoin that you're holding, is basically to get pairings with other coins. Okay. Now here's the nice thing about it. Most exchanges have pairings to the coins that you're exchanging. Okay. With Bitcoin or Ethereum, but it could be EOS, it could be Stellar, it could be Dash, Monero, whatever it is. There's other pairings out there with all those being paired to Bitcoin and Ethereum as well. So it's just a flick of a switch for them to actually add a pairing between Monero and Electroneum. Because, I mean, it basically was off the same blockchain in the first place. But that's an easy connection. It's an easy pairing that they can do. If you want EOS and Tron or EOS and Cardano, I mean, that's something that they can do. Even Ripple falls into this situation because Ripple's not one. It is top 3, but it's not one of these base coins where you buy in and then exchange for other altcoins. Okay.
Right.
So, but you have to make these other pairings. The more pairings you can get on exchanges with other coins, other altcoins, then the less likely it is that when Bitcoin goes up and down, your coin's going to go up and down too, because now you don't have to buy back into Bitcoin if you're trading. or if you're wanting to get something else, well, guess what? Bitcoin went down. Great. Let's move it over into Litecoin to go buy something else. Or let's move it into Stellar to go buy something else. Okay. So you don't have to, these pairings don't manipulate basically the market the way it is. It's the same on the stock market. Apple has no, I mean, if Apple goes down, that has nothing to do with Microsoft, right?
Right.
Or Google. I mean, it doesn't affect them if something happens, because you're not buying through one stock to buy another stock. Okay. And it's the same thing with currencies. You want to get these pairings out so you can trade back and forth, but basically it's going to be from not Bitcoin to EOS. It's going to be from EOS to Litecoin or EOS to Stellar, something along those lines. Okay. That's what you're into, and that's what you're trading. Binance is already seeing this, and they announced 2 weeks ago, I think it was, that they're actually bringing in fiat into the Binance exchange. So they'll start accepting fiat directly for currencies. And that's a majority of the currencies that they are offering. So they're a very large exchange. They have plenty of currencies out there, but they're going to be able to take fiat, and it's going to be multiple fiat. So it's not just USD. It's not going to be just the US dollar. It's going to be pounds, euros. It's going to be yen, probably. I mean, they're going to have a wide variety of different fiat going in. So once this happens and they hit it big, companies like Coinbase aren't going to be so. They're not going to be monopolizing everything. I mean, they still are the easiest for anyone here in the U.S. to invest. Okay. But if you're overseas, I mean, you have other exchanges, over-the-counter exchanges that you're using, OTC exchanges. And basically that's where Circle, Square, and the other one come in. Okay. The one thing that I don't know if we announced this last week or not, but it did come out in the news last week, is that Circle just applied for their official banking license. So,
no, I don't think we did announce that. No.
So that's a big thing that's coming out, because Circle is backed by, I mean, there's some big backers behind Circle, but they do run it as a separate entity from their investment side of everything else. And so that's why you can use Circle to actually buy coins. Circle Invest. There's Circle, which is more like PayPal to send payments back and forth to each other or pay for items that way. But they have Circle Invest, which is their new app that came out that you can use just like cash to buy Bitcoin and Ethereum. They have a number of different coins on there, about 20 different coins I think you can buy on that one.
Okay.
So Abra has more. Abra is like 25 to 30 coins, and they take like 50 fiats there. So that is a good thing if you're not in the U.S. and you have a different currency, fiat other than USD. Then Abra is your lifeline right now, because it's a really easy way to get out, and they do free trades on that. So you can trade on Abra back and forth between the 25, 30 different coins that they offer, and it's no fees. So really, that's a really good app out right now. But Circle is getting their U.S. banking license, so there's going to be more involved with that to come. That's going to open up a lot of stuff, just because we've talked about companies like T-Pay that are trying to, TokenPay, that are buying banks over in Europe to try and get into banking and everything. Well, now we have some of the apps here in the U.S. are doing the same thing to try and get in with banks, or at least get their own banking license. That's going to change a lot of the landscape. Again, we know that we're still early in this cycle, in this whole life experience, but that's one that's going to be, I think, another game changer. We're going to see all these instant buy apps, these over-the-counter apps like this. They're going to have banking licenses, so that's going to change the landscape again. So that's just some of the stuff that's been going on in the news lately. But
so I just pulled up. I was just looking at Binance Coin for a second, just because it really, or not Binance Coin, but the exchange itself has really grown a lot. They offer 359 coins, which is a lot,
right?
A lot, and they've done over $1 billion in the last 24 hours.
Yeah, they're one of the largest by far.
Oh man, they're probably they're really big, a lot bigger than they used to be. They've really been growing a lot. Well,
you got to understand, even though there's not, and guys, think about this. Even though we're not at 900 billion on the market cap right now, the amount of users that are coming into the crypto space is still growing. Okay, I mean, we had some large large investment money in that got taken out. Okay. And whether that was part of the market being manipulated, that's still to be seen, and we may never know. Okay. But that is the word on the street, of whatever you want to call it that. And it's enough that the SEC is doing investigations into it. You know, if it's true that there was that amount of money coming in and out of the market to manipulate everything, that's fine. That's where our market was at. But understand, it's still higher than where it was a year ago. Okay. And we've got a lot more users into crypto than where there was a year ago. Okay. So we're still sitting around 300 billion market cap, where, what did we say, Brian, last year at this time? We were a little under 175 or something like that, 75 billion.
Oh, I'm sure it wasn't very high. I was just going to look it up, actually. So. 75
billion last year. So at this time last year, and the thing is, last year nothing really started happening till the third and fourth quarters. I mean, that's where the really big gains came. We had some good gains in third quarter, and then we had the biggest gains, of course, in the fourth quarter. So, I mean, we're still looking forward to all that to happen this year. Okay, right. So there may be a lot of money coming back in, and we already know that there's a lot of institutional money coming back in. Okay, meaning hedge funds, meaning stock exchanges, things like that are already on the books. It just hasn't solidified yet. I mean, they haven't pulled the trigger or flipped the switch to where that money is going to start investing yet. Okay, they're still setting up their web space. Is really what it comes down to. So I mean, there's a lot there still that's going to be coming in, and that's where we're talking. You know, we're going to be way over the billion mark. We're going to be in the trillions mark. And you know, we've seen just little things, little glimpses here and there of what's really to come. One of the big things was 2 weeks ago. This is before Els went and did the summit out in New York, which I think turned out really well because it really got a lot of awareness out there for the future of crypto, I think. But he talked about how they were looking at peer-to-peer, which is a $3 trillion industry. And this is stuff like Uber. This is stuff like Airbnb. This is things where you're paying for stuff on an app or electronically over the internet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, think about trade order. Think about trade shows, just people doing trade shows personally, you know, all of
this
like
is people using the Square app, or the little Square app that plugs into your phone or your iPad, right? And they're taking payments that way. That's what they're looking at. And right now, what they can see, what they're seeing, is that basically they think this is a $3 trillion industry that they can track and understand. That's growing exponentially year after year after year.
Oh yeah,
you know that's just not happening overnight. I mean that could be what it was in 2017, and my heck, we're 6 months into 2018. You know, so. Where that 3 trillion is coming from, I'm not really sure, but basically that was on peer-to-peer. Okay. That doesn't include the rest of the market out there, which is the brick and mortar, which is going to be like you going to the movies and paying for movie tickets. Okay. Or you going and, I don't know, buying a new refrigerator for your house. Whatever that market is. Okay.
It's going to be just like people that are using the Square app right now to, like, you go in the store and they got their iPad there. There's lots of stores that do it and they run the card that way. Well, now you're going to have the instant payment systems by Electronium that you can take crypto as well
on those, but also on the point of sale terminals. So so stores like Home Depot, where you would go buy a fridge, they have a nice electronic, you know, the checker there is using a nice electronic point of sale, POS terminal. Okay. And basically it's the software on that can be updated to use the Electronium instant payment app.
Right.
And I mean, I posted up a few videos about how that works. And by the end of this month, supposedly they're going to be taking applications for companies that want to start doing this. At least to start beta testing it anyway. I mean, it's already out. I'm sure they are beta testing it already. I mean, we've seen the videos of them using it on both the POS terminals and the peer-to-peer, the Cash app, the Square app.
Right.
So we've seen it working. So that's not
Very cool.
That's
Yeah.
yeah, that's not that we know it's working. It's just now we're going to start seeing people start using it. And when the people start using it, this is where the marketing comes into play. This is what Els has been waiting for, guys. And I think, and this is what a lot of crypto out there, I think, is starting to wait for, is the real world usage of their coins. Okay. So it's not just Electroneum. Electroneum seems to be pushing the forefront on this, but we have other companies like Token Pay, Verge is in on it. I mean, even Ripple is in on it too. I mean, there's a lot of coins out there that this is what they're waiting for. Okay. Cardano is one of those that's waiting for this as well. So Tron is really it. They're trying to do this over in China. So, I mean, that's where they're trying to get their foot in the door. So there's a lot of coins that they see this is the future of where things are going to go, but because it's real world use, real application, real adoption of this, where now that starts appealing to the masses out there, the other 99.9% of us that are out there that aren't into crypto. Okay. So that's where the money's going to come from as well. So there's plenty of avenues where money is going to come in to the market, whether it's investments style, which is going to be the stock exchanges, or it's going to be real world usage, which are going to be point of sale terminals, basically for selling anything. Okay. And I do know that we've talked about a little coin that came out in the past. They announced last week, it's called Alexa, OLXA. They announced last week that they are basically releasing their like eBay stores, and they're doing them per country. So they're setting them up to run in each country, but it's going to be more of an Amazon based, eBay based type of thing, but it's strictly crypto. And that was one of the developments that they were working on as part of their ICO. It came out. They're a lending platform, meaning you don't buy coins and lend on their platform, but they actually will give you a letter of credit based on the coins that you have, the credit that you have, or the crypto that you have, so that they will give you a letter of credit to go buy a house or go buy a car or something along those lines. So that was their first product that was already out and working. Now that their ICO is done, they're going on to their phase 2, which is now to start marketplaces that are crypto based. So, and these are not going to be black market. It's not going to be Silk Road or anything like that, but it's going to be, public, I don't know, websites, what do you want to call them? Marketplaces, I guess the easiest way to do it. But basically they're going to be more along the lines of like Amazon, eBay are going to do, but they're 100% crypto. So not cool. Fiat based. They're going to be crypto based. So that's going to be coming out. So there are other coins out there that are trying to push this, not just what we harp about like Electroneum all the time. There are other coins out there working on this, but this is where the money's coming in. So why it's down right now, it's down compared to January, December of last year. It's not down compared to any other time during last year. So that's basically what you had to look at. Okay.
No, if you bought before, what was it? Before Thanksgiving last year, you're still okay.
Yeah, and I think we were looking at 6,000, right? That was Bitcoin at 6,000. If you bought before December last year, you were buying under $6,000. You were buying between $4,000 to $5,000 through quarter 3 through Q3 of last year. Before Q3 of last year, you were like 2,000 on Bitcoin. Okay, all the way back to I think $700, which was January last year.
Right.
For Bitcoin. Okay. So yeah, I mean, it's $6,800 right now. So we're still higher than where it was 10 out of the 12 months last year.
Oh yeah. Last year, the snapshot said last year at this time, Bitcoin was about $2,200.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
so
because Q3 is where we passed 4,000 and then it passed 5,000, guys. So.
Yeah. And then it started going up 1,000 at a time. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. So, that's where we're at. And then I think it peaked at 6, came back down a little bit, and then did a huge run up to 10. I think that we talked about this in one of our previous videos. We had all those charts up in front of us to pull this. But, I mean, there's money going to be coming in Unfortunately, we go through these down cycles, and a lot of it, I think, comes to the fact that we still have a lot of uncertainty in the market. I mean, China is out. They're still back looking at re-regulating everything that's going on in China. Now we've got South Korea, which was huge into the crypto market because one of their exchanges got hacked for 30 million or something like that. I don't remember the amount, but it was in the millions. That now they're redoing the regulation after they've already redid their regulation earlier this year in February. So, so they're back re-looking at doing that again. But this way, from before, it was how does the government get their fingers in on crypto? Okay, that was the true regulation scheme for the first time around, just like our SEC did. Okay, now
they don't care. They don't care about crypto as much as they just want a piece of the.
They just want a piece of the pie. Okay, they want their money out of it, basically. But now, because that exchange got hacked in South Korea, now their regulatory agency is back looking at it on how do we protect consumers? How do we protect the investors that have the coin? So that's where the SEC is kind of moving right now. That's why they're looking at the manipulation factors on Bitcoin, because why? They want to see if it's truly happening. Then they need it's it really is for them to say, okay, we need to start doing some protection in there for the United States. They got their fingers in by saying, okay, it's now legal, but the government has to know who's doing what. That way they can tax you on it. They got their regulation done so that they can tax you basically on it. Okay. But now they got to go back and look at what's fair, what's not. It's the same thing that happened in the banking industry, but just over the last 100 years compared to the last 2 years.
Right.
Is really what it comes down to, so there's not going to be bank fraud. So there won't be crypto fraud. Okay. And we're seeing that. That's the thing. We are flat out seeing that. We saw that with titanium. That's not something that's new for us now in this landscape. It's starting to happen. We know ICOs, 9 out of 10 of them are scams to begin with. We know and that's why I really truly think the ICOs this will be the end of ICOs in 2018. I think there's going to be other options that'll be out. And just like the original coins, they never had ICOs.
I think they're going to need to be established businesses that put out an ICO. I mean, they have a working product or something like that. Whereas a lot of these ICOs have just been, they don't have a working product. They don't have anything. They're just, they got a piece of a white paper that says what they're going to do, a roadmap, and they may or may not have any intention at all of doing what they say they're going to do.
Right. And we've seen
the nice thing about Electronium is that they've been doing what they say they're going to do. And why the price keeps falling, I don't know, but at some point it's going to shoot up again, I think.
Right. So there is a huge rebound coming. We just can't predict when that is. I wish we had our crystal ball so we knew what to buy and when, and when that big jump's going to happen. But we can't tell you this that if you haven't bought, it's a great time to buy. It's almost at ICO price. It's just barely above it. So don't wait till it's up to 3 cents again before you buy. Yeah. So, but I mean, on the forefront of scams and things like that, one came out yesterday or 2 days ago. I think it was released. I saw it yesterday, but it was a coin called, I'm looking at it here, called Turcoin. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And TURCOIN. This was supposed to be the official coin for Turkey, the country of Turkey. Okay. And basically found that the guys who started it, trying to get the government backing on it and everything, it was just a giant Ponzi scheme, walked away with everybody's money. So, I mean, this is two big coins. And that wasn't big here, but I'm sure that was huge in Turkey, if that was supposed to be like their national coin. But basically, if things like this are happening and we're seeing Titanium claiming all these huge connections and stuff, and then he's walking away with everybody's money too. You're right that we don't care for the government to be involved with our tradings, our investments, stuff like that when it comes to crypto. But guess what? There needs to be some regulation so that we're safe. I mean, this can't be the wild, wild west forever.
Consumer protection will be coming.
Yeah, And we've really got to get down to some of that. And that's where the SEC has stepped in looking at this. And now we're seeing exchanges. And I swear I read the previous week, this was going on in Japan now as well, that the Japanese government is now looking into ICOs and doing the same thing there. So it's becoming rampant enough that governments are taking a look at it going, oh, coins, we got to be careful. We need to start protecting our interests on this because it is within their best interest. Why? It's another revenue stream. It's a government income. It's really what it comes down to. So the governments have got to take an interest on it to protect it if they want it to flourish as well, just like us. So, but I know there's been, go ahead.
I said, well, we're all taking a risk every time. Anytime you invest in anything, you're taking a risk, and that's okay. I'm fine with that. But what I'm not okay with is like titanium. Guy flat out lied to us and told us all these different things that were just flat out lies and not truthful. And so, we tried to do the research the best we could. But a lot of people got flat out scammed by him. So there's got to be a little bit of, like I said, consumer protection there, where some things are verified and it goes through a process of verifying that what consumers are buying into is the truth and not just lies. So I think we see some regulations coming on that point.
Yeah. So that's kind of where we've got to be careful in the future, and that's where the government is actually good stepping in to help out, to put some regulation on it. We really do need some of that regulatory help with stuff like this. Otherwise, they all could end up just being Ponzi's or scams, and we all lose out. And the people who started the ICOs were the only ones who won in the first place. Okay, right. So basically, that's kind of what we got to look at future-wise that's going on. I know there was a few other articles I posted up this week that were government regulatory based. I would say go back to the Crypto Millionaire page, Crypto Millionaire Club page, because that's our page. The Electronia Millionaire Group Club is our group. So that's where a lot of the discussion happens. But I do post up articles daily in the Crypto Millionaires Club page. So that's where I put all the articles in there. So if you have some time, you just want to read, that's a good place to go. And I put up stuff daily, easily 3 or 4 articles a day. And there are stuff
lots of good content.
Yeah. So there's a lot in there for you. I'd say go take a look at it, because I know there is more stuff going on right now in the market that we're not talking about. There's too much. I can't keep up with it, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, we'd have to do this show every day for 3 or 4 hours to try to keep up with a little bit of it, right?
Yep, that's true. That's true. So, but that's some stuff. I just tell you, it was kind of hard thinking of stuff to come up with today, but I'll tell you, there's so much going on out there. It shouldn't be that hard to come up.
Yeah. But it is.
So,
there's just so much of it. It's like, how do you narrow it all down? I mean, what is going to be useful? That's why I like to see people asking comments or having questions and stuff like that, so we can create a dialogue of what do people want to hear about, what's going on with certain things,
Right. Right.
Because I'm all about trying to find the information and find the answers to some of the stuff, but
yeah,
there's a lot of things.
I back. I was trying to look for the information on the exchange that got hacked over in Korea, but the one that came up was actually as of this morning, and this one came from the Modern Investor too. I just pulled up another video here talking about BitHub or Hump. I don't know, whatever it is, BITHUMB. I don't use them, but the world's 6th largest crypto exchange by trade volume has been hacked. So it's still going on, guys. That's why we always tell you keep your coins in your wallets as much as you possibly can right now. It's the best, unless you're day trading. I mean, you have your own setup for stuff like that, and you are keeping it on the exchanges, but just be careful with smaller exchanges. And I guess this really isn't a smaller exchange, but it's the 6th largest in trade volume. Whether it's the 6th largest in users, I don't know.
Just goes to show it can happen on any of them.
Yeah, but they just announced that they got hacked. For how much, I don't know. This is something new. I'm just seeing that's coming out that was talked about earlier today. I need to go pull the video up on it and see if I can find the articles on it. As soon as I will, I'll post them up, of course, on the Crypto Millionaire Club page. But yeah, I mean, this is stuff that we really got to be careful about right now.
So on Electroneum, what's the deal with Electroneum? I mean, we see some good stuff happening. Is the price? Are we just staying down because of the people coming out of the market and stuff, or what's going on with that?
I don't know, because even today we're seeing a bounce in the market going up. Where is Electroneum? Jeez, I haven't even looked today.
It just looked like it was about 109.
Number 107. We're at 107. It's up 4%. Okay, so we're up. At least this is what I'm saying. Let me refresh. Yeah, 107, and we're still hanging around that 1.3 cents range, but it's up 4% today. So, I mean, it's staying with the flow with everybody going up today. I mean, Bitcoin's up 2% today. Ethereum's up almost 4%. So we're right there with the norm as going up. But unfortunately, it's not $1,000. So 4% doesn't mean much when it's still pennies.
Right.
But I'm saying, I mean, there's been a lot in the works. Really, where Electroneum is going to shine is when this beta testing starts working and goes up. There's still, from what I understand, there's still a sell wall of coins that have not been sold off from the ASICs miners from last month before the fork. There's still this pending wall there that hasn't sold off, and I think part of that was just the issues with the blockchain taking so long to, after that fork, it took them about a week to get through those first couple of blocks and speed up things. The blockchain was just taking a long time. Okay.
Right.
Where they just started mining empty blocks. They brought in a third party to start mining empty blocks just to get past all this and speed up the blockchain again. So I think we had some issues there where basically there's just not a lot of people buying the coin. That's what we need. We need more people buying the coin. And that's where it's at this is the lowest we've ever seen it. Besides ICO, this is the lowest we've ever seen it.
I mean, even straight out of ICO, it jumped up, and has never been back to this low.
It's never been back to this. We're still higher than ICO. I mean, we're still up by 25% from where Brian and I bought. So, or more actually. But the thing is there's not enough people buying to bury that sell wall,
right,
from the ASICs and everybody that was doing that mining. And you got to understand, we're still gaining mobile miners. Do you understand? I think we talked about last week, or we didn't talk about it here, but last time I looked, I think there was 135 million, or no, 135,000. 135,000 actual mobile miners out there. So we've jumped. They're on their way to 150. Is what they talked about, that we're going to pass 150,000 mobile miners here, like any minute, because people are still mining. People are still mining on their Android phones and tablets, and there's still more coming in. Didn't I hear that Electroneum is the most valuable mined coin right now too? It is
something to that effect,
Let's see.
So if you've got some rigs and stuff and want to mine a good coin, that is the coin to mine.
Yeah, I'm just looking here to see if I can find what the count is. I don't have an Android phone. I have an Apple phone, so I can't actually mine. Let's see here. So I'm just trying to pull it up. What's our newest count? Sorry, guys.
Are you pulling up the website? Is that?
I was, but I don't see it on there. I'm not looking
it says it. It says it on the Android app too, I think, doesn't it?
It does. That's where the easiest place to do it
is
on there. And that's what I was kind of looking for to see.
So we'll just put a plug out for Apple, and hopefully soon they will get our app approved.
Yeah, but if one of you guys out there is using your Android to mine, okay. So I was way off. So we're at 171,000.
Oh, well, last week when we did the show, we were probably under 150.
Oh, no, that's registered users. Sorry, that's 1.7 million users, registered users. Sorry. That was the community. I'm looking. Okay. I'm still trying to find it. Sorry, guys, I don't see it. If anybody's got a mobile miner running, let us know what's the count at right now. If you've got an Android that you're mining with right now, let us know. But I just don't see. Yeah, I don't see on the website where it's telling us how many are on there. Yeah, I'm just not looking in the right place, but all their news is about the BCI summit where Richard was the keynote speaker. So,
and I'm sure it was great, and they announced great things, and like I said, they changed the website when they were there, right?
Yeah, they did. They announced the new partnership with Mobile Streams. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but that's an online gaming app. So basically with your phone, game apps with your phone, they've got in with them. So they're going to now start taking payment for games or like in-game purchases, things like that. But basically mobile gaming service. Okay. So any games that are on the Mobile Streams app or system, kind of like Google Play, think about it like that. It's like the Google Play system. So if you've got an Android or anything like that, I mean, it's where you play games. You download everything through Google Play. Well, it's basically the same thing. It's Google Play making a partnership with Electronium, saying that they'll now take payment on their platform with their games. So I think that's pretty big. That's really big. But we've got to get the mobile payment system, that instant payment system working out before Mobile Streams can start using it. And that's what I'm saying. There's so much on the books for Electronium right now. This 1.3 cents is laughable, I think. I mean, that's just, I keep looking at this going, why, guys? There's if everybody knew, you'd be taking the little extra $200 you had and go buy more. I mean, that's seriously what this if you really understand what the partnerships they've made and what this is going to do when they start their marketing campaigns, man.
Well, that's exactly what I was just going to say, was these partnerships that they'd been forming all along with these mobile companies and these payment system companies. And we're thinking, okay, great. What's it doing? It's not doing anything. Now they've got their patented technology come out, or their patent pending instant pay system and things like that. And all these companies that they signed agreements with are going to be using this system. So you'll be able to make payments on your phone, pay your phone bill and different things like that. And so, and that's how many millions? 60 million, 70 million? I can't remember the totals now. With all these groups added up, I mean,
well, no, they're saying, well, registered users, it was 1.7 million according to their website.
But I'm talking about the mobile.
Right, we were supposed to be 135 million.
Yeah, so there's a lot.
135 million people, and these are mass adoption people, guys. These aren't current users. These are this is what they're talking about. Their mass adoption. Right now, they've made. Let's see here. So I was trying to read. I found the little thing about the USD, the 3 trillion opportunity on that. But basically, this with the total right now, with all the and I don't know about with this new little gaming development deal that they did. That wasn't in the 135 million users what they had access to, right?
Right.
Who knows how many people are using that gaming platform? Who knows? I don't. I really don't. So that's really what they're talking about. But the thing is, the other thing that they're talking about too is the $3 trillion opportunity with the peer-to-peer and stuff like that. That's based off the 350 million smartphone users. That's based on the amount of smartphone users.
Oh, really?
In the developed world. Okay. And most of it's the Western economy. So that's what they're talking about. And it's based off of the 350 million smartphone users that are using peer-to-peer buying and spending. Okay. That's where that 3 trillion comes from. But as far as what the deals that they've made, I'm not really sure. With the new partnership that they just announced, I don't know what the tally comes up to at that, but we're talking just with the previous deals that they made with the cell phone servicing, companies and stuff like that. That was 135 was my last count, 135 million.
So when they roll that out, and a lot of this is going to be happening, I think, in September, early September, late September, maybe. By the time they put out their final version,
it could be
sooner.
It could be sooner. I mean, that could be the end of July. Who knows? I don't know.
I mean, that many more people that will be accessing Electroneum, hopping on as mobile miners so they can get free coins and pay their phone bill with them and stuff. I mean, it's pretty huge.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people that got in the beginning, like us, have kind of. We followed them so close, and then people have just kind of fallen off and kind of forgotten about it, and maybe they're holding their coins or they sold their coins and stuff like that, But I think there's a lot of good things in store for Electroneum. It's definitely a long-term hold and not a get-rich-quick coin. So,
yeah, it is. And here's the thing, though, is when the marketing starts, I mean, I think there is the opportunity still to do the get-rich-quick scheme on it if you're buying now. But you got to be in now. Okay, so you got to be buying at 1.3 cents because you're dang near close to where we were getting in at ICO.
Yeah,
and so this is definitely a good time to start picking up stuff. Mobile stream subscribers are in Latin America with 750,000 users.
Okay,
so that's another 750,000 users to add onto the tally. And that's just Latin America. So that's mobile streams. I still keep saying they need to get in with Steam gaming.
Oh, right.
If anybody doesn't know what Steam gaming is, it's almost the largest PC platform for basically games. So if you like to play World of Warcraft or something like that, most of the time people are playing that through Steam, the Steam platform community and all that stuff. So, and last year they were taking Bitcoin. So they are already used to the mobile to the crypto platform of being able to use cryptocurrency and stuff like that. But they actually dropped it because
transaction fees are too expensive.
I mean, every time you bought a game, and if you bought it with Bitcoin, you paid an extra $14 in Bitcoin fees because Bitcoin was so expensive. Of course, this was last fall when things were going up and up and up.
Right.
So they dropped, I think, October, November last year is when Steam dropped Bitcoin. So I've been saying we need to get in with them, and this could be a stepping stone for them. Get in with mobile Steams for Latin America to do that, and then get on with Steam.
Right.
That may be something to do. I'm sure there's so many coins out there that want to get on with Steam. I'm sure they're getting hit a lot on that side. But Els is smart. When it comes to this, he's going to get in with some of these smaller companies and show use case of it, that it actually works. And then he'll get the bigger guys to go, hey, look, this is what we're doing. They're already making money on this. Why don't you do it too? It really, really helps your business plan out.
And he's got the technology and the software to back it up, and to implement it into anybody that wants to use it. How much easier is that going to be for him?
Yeah. But that's really what the future, I think, of Electroneum is. And why it's down so low right now, man, I would have thought it's much higher than that. But I think that there's a lot of users that are using the mobile miner. So there really is. And I know with talking in a few groups about this last few weeks, they're looking to pass the 150,000 users right now. I mean, they're looking at that like in the next week or so. This was a week ago that we're talking about this, but their goal was to hit the 200,000 users quick. That's really what their goal was, to hit the 200,000 users quick, because I think under Electronium, what they were talking about their future goals, and I think Els mentioned this as part of the BCI summit, was that they're looking to be at 1 million users. They want 1 million people to download that mobile mining app, and we're not even touching that right now. We're not even scratching that right now. So I think he's got an idea of how he's going to get it there, and I think a lot of it's going to be with this mobile streams, mobile gaming, guys. Because why? Someone who's on their phone playing a game, why would they not download an app?
Why would they not? Yeah, why would they not take advantage of the free money?
Free money to put into your gaming, to your addictive mobile gaming, right? All you have to do is let it run in the background while you're at work, or hell, you could probably do it while you're playing a game. Who knows? I don't know. Yeah. You know, I haven't got a phone I can play with that to find out, but that's going to be
just going to run like an app, like anything else in the background.
Right. But I think, these are stepping stones. These are the little stepping stones that he's putting into place. And I don't know if everybody else remembers, what was his first partnership? Brian, do you remember what was his first partnership?
Geez, I don't remember.
This was the beginning of this year, guys. This is how much crypto changes so quickly in 6 months. Do you remember what was going on Electronium 6 months ago? Because we talked about 6 months ago. I mean, even Sean on Crypto for the People was talking about it 6 months ago when we first hit this dip. He's like, do you think in 6 months everybody will know what it was at right now? Well, I tell you the truth, I don't know I don't remember what was going on in the crypto world at that time. I do know the certain coins that I'm following what happened, but I can tell you this, the first partnership that Els ever did, this is before he even got in with the mobile carriers, was the mobile carrier processing companies.
All right.
The guys who took the payments for the cell phone companies.
Right.
That was his first deal. The first partnership he ever made was with an Asian there was an Asian payment processing company that basically worked with a lot of the different cell companies over in Asia. Okay. That was his first deal. That's not proof that he's doing little stepping stones before the big stuff comes along. I don't know what is. So I still think about that all the time, even though when I see, the market's so down, and it's hard, guys. It really is. Even for us that have been doing this for a year, it's hard to go back and look at some of the stuff and go, man, this is down. You know, the market's just down, but this is where you just got to, you take your cojones and you just got to squeeze and go on with it. You know, I mean, that's what you're doing. I mean, you're showing how strong you are with this, even though in down markets. But I go back and I look at stuff, what was happening 6 months ago, especially with Els, because I know he's got a master plan that he's not letting us know. But let's look at this. He got in with the payment processing companies before he went in, even after the companies he wants to make payment processing with. Okay. He's setting the stepping stones to say, oh, guys, don't worry about taking the payments. We're already dealing with your accountant. That's really what he's doing. He's like, we're going to deal with your accounting guy over here that's going to take the payments, make sure all the books look good and everything. I mean, that's what he's doing.
He's already set up.
We're already in with them. We're already set up. They'll take the payment. You guys just got to agree to accept it. Oh, and by the way, if you do that, we'll bonus you on top of it.
Yes, that's what I forgot. Very nice bonus program too.
Yeah, we'll give you a bonus 1%. On top of that. Yeah,
yeah.
So I really do think that's where you got to be looking, guys. You got to go back and look at stuff that what Els has done in the past and how that's going to predict the future. Because he's got the brickwork laid, so that when it all comes to fruition, it's all there. I know we understand about how, like, we've had issues with KuCoin, we have issues with Cryptopia, all of them having basically issues where they can't accept the amount of business that's on the blockchain. That's really what it comes down to. They just can't handle it. Their systems are not set up to be able to support the amount of business that Els is going to bring to them. That's really what this comes down to. So they both of those companies have had to go back and basically restructure or they've had to upgrade their systems. to deal with this. Because why? They've never had another coin that's had this amount of users doing this quickly. Okay. So, I mean, Cryptopia, we were probably one of the largest trading on there when we first hit them. I think we were probably the largest between Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Electronium. I think we were the largest on their exchange back and forth. That's why they just couldn't handle it, and people's exchange, their transfers and stuff like that were getting lost or they rolled up, is because they just couldn't handle it. So that's really what it came down to. And hopefully with the ASIC stuff being gone, that's going to drop some of that down. That's fine. Now we just need more users to start picking it up, start using it.
Yep. It's coming. It's coming. Just take a little bit of time.
So anyway, that's about all I got tonight. Oh, what was the sorry, one more thing. I posted up earlier, there's actually a chance to win for the next big blockchain conference.
Oh, that's right.
It came out. This actually came from Electronium, their Telegram group. I saw it earlier, so I posted that up. Let me pull it up here. It's actually both in the Crypto Millionaires Club and the Electronium Millionaires Club. If it works. Holy crap, come on. When we're doing these shows, my computer just runs so slow. But go take a look. It's for the Blockchain World Conference, okay? So right now, basically, it's going to be in Atlantic City next month, July 11th to the 13th. If you go, I posted the link up. Basically, you can win the trip to Harrah's Resort Casino there, and they'll give away 10,000 Electronium. So an all-expense trip paid with 10,000 plus an additional 10,000 Electronium. So nice. This is the next big conference that's out. Avels is speaking there. He hasn't said anything about it or anything like that. But I do know, I don't know, it depends on who you like, but John McAfee is going to be there. But there's a lot of other big names. Cindy Yang, David Fellman, Tim Draper. These are all crypto industry leader guys that are going to be there speaking. So, but I think they're bringing in John McAfee to try and get news out for it. Of course, that's a good social media play. Saying that he's going to be there to speak, but that's tickets. When I looked, are around $1,300, guys, and that's tickets for the conference and a room for your stay there. Okay, so that's for your time there. But we're talking, $1,300. I think was the cheap way to go. About $1,000 was the cheap way to go. But you can go win a trip to that. You just got to go basically get on their Telegram group. And get on Electronium's Telegram group, and then go Twitter, make a Twitter post about the event, and let them know. But that's basically all you have to do. It's just an easy form you got to go fill out, and that's it. So if you're interested in going, maybe jump in there and fill that out.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks for posting on that. Check us out at the I've got it up on the screen right now, the Crypto Millionaires Club on Facebook. Or you can check out our Electronium Millionaires Club as well. So,
yeah,
very good.
But that links up in both of them. So, whichever one you want to go look at, they're there. Not sure. We are an open group. We are a public group, so I think anybody can go in and read what we're posting and stuff like that. But you will not be able to post unless you join the group. So,
very cool. Well, thank you, Vance. Thank you for all the information tonight. I hope this was helpful to those that are out there watching. If you do have questions at any time, feel free to post up on our page or send us a message, and we'd be glad to talk about anything that people want to talk about. So,
yeah. So,
well, I think we'll call it a night with that.
Yeah, pretty much that's it for me. Like I said, there's so much going on in crypto these days, guys. You just can't keep up. You got to pick and choose what you want to read. And like I said, I on all the email lists I'm on that bring me news every day, I take those articles and I put them into the Crypto Millionaires Club. So if you want information, just you've got some downtime, want to read some stuff, go there and look at a few articles that are in there. So as I said, there's a lot in there, and it's hard to keep up with a lot of it just because there's so much coming out, and that's only from 2 websites that I subscribe to. So
yeah, awesome. Well, as always, this is just Vance and I's journey through crypto, sharing it with you. We hope you enjoy it. Do your own due diligence. Make sure that you check out everything that you invest in on your own. Do not invest more than you're willing to lose. We are not financial advisors and are not giving advice, just sharing our experience. So we hope you've had a good time. Have a great night. We will see you next week.
All right.
Thanks, Vance.
Have a good night, everybody.
Bye, guys.